90s kid, I grew up playing lots of platformers. Among them is a game that features a jumping and spinning brown marsupial. Yes, I am talking about Crash Bandicoot, a game that taught me patience, fast reflexes, and rage quitting. It was a long time ago that I barely remember if I even finished the whole thing back then, but I have the remaster on Switch, and I vividly remember playing the game inside Uncharted 4 via Nathan Drake. I actually haven't heard that there will be a mobile game, or maybe it just slipped my brain, so I am excited to start this game when I finally knew of it. It just has been released on March 24, 2021, and I am writing this script just on the day of its release. It is developed by King, which is of course the king of mobile game developers, as they are the ones who are responsible for Candy Crush. The game is by no means a mobile port of the classic games, but instead, a mobile version where everything is just about swiping left and right to switch among 3 lanes. There is also practically no platformer here except for the minimal mechanic to swipe up and down to jump and slide respectively. This is usual in runner games, but in this case, it has the Crash Bandicoot IP and assets. Given the IP, there are the usual Wumpa fruits to collect and boxes and enemies to destroy by spinning. And the player is given one Aku mask right at the start of each run. Despite the typical gameplay, the game's core loop is interesting. The goal of the player is, for each run, to defeat enemies from the Crash Bandicoot IP. Therefore, there are weapons in the form of serums that the player has to equip before starting. Basically, the serums are the cost to enter a run that replaces the usual stamina or currency cost system as a means to start. Serums are crafted with specific materials, which means that the player has to manually craft serums in order to play instead of waiting for X minutes to replenish them. Fortunately, these materials are acquired by going on collection runs in islands with those specific materials. This means that in order to go through the bosses and the story, the player must run in these islands beforehand. This increases player retention as the game gives the player something to do. It is, however, time-gated, as items in the islands run out and will be refilled after 2 hours. This contributes yet again to the game's overall player retention. There is of course a shortcut to get these serums, and that is to buy them using the premium currency, purple crystals, which can be bought at $3 to $4 per 100. This prices the serums at 40 to 60 cents each. There are also subscription offers that range from 7 days to 30 days of daily purple crystals. These purple crystals can also be used to speed up a lot of things, from the creation of serums to the filling up of materials and islands. The game also added a run point counter in every run, which increases the longer the player successfully runs without bumping into obstacles. Similar to the classic games, there are checkpoints, so progress is not usually compromised all that much. However, the run points will reset to 0 once the player taps a little too late to spin or swipes in the wrong direction. Enter the purple crystals to save the day, where the player is able to continue the run as if nothing happened, which also continues the accumulation of run points. The good thing about this game is that there is no item nor currency, including the purple crystals, that is obtainable with just real money. The only thing that money can influence here is how fast the player can progress through the bosses. Ads are also incorporated, as it lets the player watch one in order to get free purple crystals or to double rewards. Again, ads that are voluntary earn a thumbs up from me since it does not break the game experience, and personally, I think that players are more than willing to watch ads themselves, especially if they are rewarded by doing so. As I see it, it is a well-done mobile game, as expected by the developer, and it can be an introduction to Crash Bandicoot, especially to kids. Gotta train them young and let them think that Crash Bandicoot is this easy, fun game, then thrust them into the real world straight into the stormy ascent. Anyways, speaking of the game's economy, so far it is balanced, and the game's microtransactions are not predatory. But since this is new, a lot can change, so I hope it does not go that direction. I am not gonna forget about that whole CTR fiasco. It is a good thing that the developer is a veteran in the mobile gaming scene and has since mastered a way of profiting without player backlash. There are also lots of features in the game that are locked and are coming soon, so that's one thing to anticipate about this game. Given its IP, the game is of course popular right at the start. It is currently in the top 100 grossing charts. Reviews are also mostly positive. How about you guys? Have you played Crash Bandicoot before? What do you think about this game? Don't hesitate to leave comments down below. This has been Gwen, stay safe always, and bye!